So we have to start with the
We
oath
gotta
of
flag.
office.
You gotta do the flag first?
Oh,
Well,
well, not really.
yeah.
No, the oath of office comes
After you
first.
do.
Oh, it does? What's on the flag?
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
That's, yes,
I'll sit
that's
down
it.
there.
Okay, nope.
Who wants to go first?
It's up to you, doesn't matter to me.
Okay, raise your right hand. I, Thomas Trombley,
I, Thomas Trombley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New
and
York.
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of village trustee for 2 years,
I will faithfully discharge the duties of village trustee for 2 years.
April 6, 2020 to April 4th, 2022.
April 6, 2020 to April 4th, 2022. Thank you.
Raise your right hand. I, Amy Garrett,
I, Amy Garrett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of village trustee for 2 years.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of village trustee for 2 years.
April 6, 2020 to April 4th, 2022.
April 6, 2020 to April 4th, 2022. Last time.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, call the meeting to order, salute to the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of members.
Which way do I go? Trustee Garrett,
Here!
Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee Trombley.
Here,
Trustee Malinsky.
Here.
Mayor McPetrich.
Playing with our heads already.
All right, so we have to start with the organizational meeting. I need a motion to open the organizational meeting, please.
Someone?
And a second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, so as you know, this is a lot of reading. Mayor's appointments. The following appointments are offered. Thomas Murnane B. and is hereby appointed village attorney for a term of 1 year expiring on April 5th, 2021 at the retainer set by annual budget appropriation. Mary Sousa B. and is hereby appointed deputy clerk for a term of 1 year expiring on April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Michael Joliker B. and is hereby appointed superintendent of public works for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Michael Tatro B. and is hereby appointed fire, building code and zoning enforcement officer for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Juanita Munoz B. and is hereby appointed records access manager for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at no salary. Mary Sousa B. and is hereby appointed registrar of vital statistics for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Natasha Nevius is hereby appointed to the planning board for a term of 5 years expiring April 7th, 2025. Julie Gallagher is hereby appointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term of 5 years, expiring April 7th, 2025.
Make a motion to accept these appointments.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Good to see new names.
Yes.
Excellent.
Mayor's Committee appointments, designations. October 5th, 2020 to October 5th, 2021. Deputy Mayor Thomas Trombley, Water and Sewer Commissioner Thomas Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Kim Trombley, Street Sidewalk Commissioner Kim Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Nikki Malinsky, Equipment Tool Commissioner Thomas Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Amy Garrig, Building Property Commissioner Amy Garrig, Deputy Commissioner Thomas Trombley, Parks Recreation Commissioner Nikki Malinsky, Deputy Commissioner Amy Garrig, Personnel Commissioner Kim Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Nikki Malinsky. Harassment Committee Member Amy Garrig, Harassment Committee Member Kim Trombley. Shared Services Commissioner Thomas Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Nikki Malinsky. Insurance Commissioner Amy Garrig. Planning Board Liaison Thomas Trombley. Zoning Board Liaison Jana McFetridge. Champlain Fire District Liaison Jana McFetridge. Chairperson of the Zoning Board of Appeals, Peter Visconti. Vice Chairman of the ZBA, Julie Gallagher. Chairperson of the Planning Board, James Robbins. Vice Chairman of the Planning Board, Thomas Ryan. Budget Officer, Jana McFetridge. Recreation Committee, Jana McFetridge. Motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second?
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Board appointments. The following appointments were offered by the Board of Trustees. Claire Clark and Marie Dupuy be and are hereby appointed Inspectors of Election for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation, with Marie Dupuy as chairperson. Beverly Maynard be and is hereby appointed Village Historian for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Kimberly McGoldrick be and is hereby appointed Recreation Director for a term of 1 year expiring April 5th, 2021 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Board designation. Official newspaper. The Press Republican, Plattsburgh, New York be and is hereby designated the official newspaper of the Village of Champlain during the year October 5th, 2020 through April 5th, 2021. Motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Village Board meeting schedule. The following dates be and are hereby designated as the official meeting nights of the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees during the year October 5th, 2020 through April 5th, 2021, and the time being at 6:30 p.m. at the Village Office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. November 16th, 2020, December 14th, 2020, January 11th, 2021, February 8th, 2021, March 8th, 2021, April 5th, 2021. Further, a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the news media and others having an interest in said meetings and requesting copies thereof, thereby officially notifying the public as required by law and in meeting the obligations of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, that said meeting dates be posted in one conspicuous place in the village as required by law. Motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Zoning Board of Appeals meeting schedule. The second Wednesday night of each month is hereby designated as the official meeting night of the Zoning Board of Appeals during the year October 5th, 2020 through April 5th, 2021, at the time of 5 p.m. at the Village Office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. Further, a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the news media and others having an interest in said meetings and requesting copies thereof, thereby officially notifying the public as required by law and in meeting the obligations of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, that said meeting dates be posted in one conspicuous place in the village as required by law. Motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Planning Board meeting schedule. The third Wednesday night of each month is hereby designated as the official meeting night of the Planning Board during the year October 5th, 2020 through April 5th, 2021 at the time of 5 p.m. at the Village Office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. Further, a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the news media and others having an interest in said meetings and requesting copies thereof, thereby officially notifying the public, as required by law, and in meeting the obligations of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, that said meeting dates be posted in one conspicuous place in the village as required by law. Motion, please,
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 2021-2022 organizational meeting. The annual organizational meeting set for the 2021-2022 official year and for the various appointments and committees be and is hereby scheduled for April 5th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. at the village office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. Motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Youth Commission. The village shall continue its participation in and with the joint projects of the Town of Champlain Youth Program and with the Clinton County Youth Bureau as a member of said county-wide youth organization.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Village policies. The Board of Trustees reviewed the following village policies: investment policy, procurement policy, personnel policy, rules of procedures for public meetings, sexual harassment prevention policy, social media policy, code of ethics, fund balance policy, smoking policy, fixed asset policy. Motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on any of those policies? Anything that you want reviewed, looked over, changed, updated? We have updated a lot of them, but this would be the time to at least talk about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't have it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Annual resolutions. Resolution for payment of claims. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Champlain has determined to authorize payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges, and whereas all such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting of audit, and whereas the claimant and officer incurring or approving the claim shall be jointly and severely liable for any amount disallowed by the Board of Trustees. Now therefore be it resolved, Section 1, that the Board of Trustees authorizes payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges. All such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting for audit, and the claimant and officer incurring or approving the claims shall be jointly and severely liable for any amount disallowed by the Board of Trustees. Section 2, this resolution shall take effect immediately. Motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Resolution for mileage reimbursement. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Champlain has determined to pay a fixed rate for mileage as reimbursement to officers and employees of the village who use their personal automobiles while performing their official duties on behalf of the village. Now therefore be it resolved, Section 1, that the Board of Trustees shall approve reimbursement to such officers and employees at the rate of 55 cents per mile. Section 2, this resolution shall take effect immediately. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Resolution for official bank depositories. Whereas the Board of Trustees has determined that village law number 4-412 (3) requires the designation of banks or trust companies for the deposit of all village monies. Now therefore be it resolved, Section 1, that the Board of Trustees designates the following institutions as depositories of all monies received by the village treasurer, clerk, and receiver of taxes during the year October 5th, 2020 to April 5th, 2021. TD Bank, Shazy Branch Office, Key Bank of New York, N.A., Champlain Branch Office, Chase Manhattan Bank, New York, New York, Key Trust Bank, Albany, New York, USDA Rural Development, Ithaca, New York, and Champlain National Bank, Champlain Branch Office. Section 2, that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Standard workday and report resolutions. Be it resolved that the Village of Champlain hereby establishes the following as standard workday for elected and appointed officials and will report the following day's work to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the record of activities maintained and submitted by these officials to the clerk of this body. I can't really read the chart. Can I guess I mean, chart attached, is that appropriate?
I would think so.
I mean, I could read it across, I don't know if it makes any sense.
It's not gonna make sense to anybody.
No, so I'm just going to say chart attached.
Yep, that's fine.
Motion to approve resolution,
So moved.
and a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Okay, so that is it for the organizational meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting?
So moved.
And a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now I need a motion to open the regular board meeting.
So moved.
And a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Approval of the minutes of the previous meetings, meeting, I think it was just one set, yeah. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Yep, I'll second.
Okay, discussion. Any corrections?
I didn't see anything.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Presentation of petitions, communications, and general question period for members of the community. As we have no one from the community here, we will dispense with that. Report from the codes enforcement officer, you got Mike's report. I don't know if you have any questions on any of those issues. He has been pretty busy.
Yeah, in regards to the, speaking with Doug Ferris concerning the report, so is that based off this report that's presented here tonight?
We just got that in the mail today.
So it's
Yeah.
not off of that then? Okay.
So he met with Doug Ferris and they went down there together and they walked around the building as best they could, and that report, as Juanita said, just arrived today.
Okay.
So, when I see Mike on Wednesday, I'll talk to him about the next steps. I'll have to
Okay.
read through that, and then I think it's proceeding with section 60.
I think it's the report
Yeah.
reference, yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you have a ballpark of what the report said, or you haven't had a chance to look at it?
You know, I don't think I wanna say it, I don't think I wanna go on record as saying anything, I've only skimmed it.
Okay.
Did you get a copy?
It's
In your mailbox.
It's in your mailbox.
Never mind. Sorry.
No worries.
I'd rather get Mike's input before,
Mhm.
before we really discuss it, but I had a couple of questions on how to interpret some of it. So I think, maybe next month Mike can come to this meeting and talk to us more about it. But I think he'll proceed as he's supposed to, because we've got some time factors here. Anything else on the code officer's monthly report?
Nope.
All right. Report from the mayor. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Champlain Board Meeting. First, I'd like to congratulate and thank Tom Tremblay and Amy Garrick for seeking re-election to the board. I just want to say that they have donated many, many years of service to this community, and I really appreciate your willingness to continue to serve. Public service is often underappreciated and difficult. I know how serious both of you take this position as board trustees, and I really value your commitment, so thank you.
Thank you.
As most people have seen, we're able to get three streets paved last week. This meant long hours of heavy work. I extend a thank you to our superintendent, our DPW crew, and the help from Clinton County. Each year, an assessment is done on the streets to determine which ones need attention most. With a small crew and a small budget, we can only tackle the most efficient streets. I realize that this can be frustrating to residents who see the problems on their particular roads, and believe me, I know what they're talking about. The streets committee that was appointed tonight will meet with Mike to learn the details of the conditions of the streets and how these decisions are made. And then a decision will be made regarding which specific streets will be repaired and paved next season. As I promised last month, we've been working on a solution for fall cleanup in the village. Currently, I can tell you that we will have a bagged leaf collection. This will be picked up on Fridays from October 16th through October 30th. This is for leaves only. Do not include other items such as branches or other yard waste, and no garbage. I'm still organizing a branch and twig collection time and system. The details will be announced on our website and our Facebook pages later this month. I hope to have figured that out in the next week or so. May you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful fall, stay safe, remain healthy, and as always, watch out for one another. Thank you. Report from the trustees. Nikki?
We're still trying to put together an event at the library for October 29th, possibly, to do a pumpkin carving contest. So we may be looking for volunteers to judge. Just a quick walkthrough, check out the pumpkins with their lights on. Some more details on that will come out soon on the Facebook page for the library. And on my Champlain Kids Connected Facebook page, I put up an October book challenge. It's like a book bingo. So every time they fill out a bingo, they get entered into a drawing to win some fun prize.
Oh, that's cool.
So that also gets kids to go out to the library and
Yeah.
choose different books according to the
Great.
type on the bingo board.
Great.
And
Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you. Amy?
For me, thank you for those who came out to vote, during this time. I know it's not the best to be out and about, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the trust in having me continue as a trustee. It has been very important to me over the years, and this will be my last serving on the board, as we are moving forward with changes in our life. So I do greatly appreciate that, but we'll keep you posted as things do change. I have not gotten to that grant yet. I do have till November, and as you all know, I'm much better under pressure, and pressure's my middle name. So, it will get done in time, but have not had any time since we met a couple weeks ago to get to that. My apologies, but I will, it's on my agenda. I'm on vacation next week, so I should be able to address it.
Thanks, Amy. Kim?
I finally received an email from the AARP challenge, community challenge, following up, looking for, they say it's a 5-minute survey. So I've asked for the dollar amount that the village had donated or used towards the kayak launch, and also will include in there the donation of time, design, and materials from Modern Mechanical. And that, I'm assuming, will be the end of the information that they're looking for on that. I know Tom reached out to Heather this week about the rail, and hasn't heard back from John yet, so.
Oh, he called back tonight, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I should have told you.
Just because we live in the same household doesn't mean that information always flows.
We all understand that.
All those.
That's okay.
Getting showered and dressed, and left a message.
So, this should put to bed finally the kayak launch. You know, I did put in, I started doing it that people were able to enjoy it over the summer months, and that I wanna put in, did Clark do like an instructional class or something on?
He did do some instruction one night of our community kayaking, so that's,
Okay.
yeah.
So I will add that in there because it's just all gonna look better, so.
Mhm.
So I will get that up this week.
Great, thank you.
Water board continues to move along, and I'll let Tom do the update on that. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Tom?
Okay, so, since you brought up the kayak launch in modern mechanical, his message was he hadn't had time to get down there because of the schedule, but he's glad to hear that it's out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And now he'll get down, do some measuring, some drawing, and we'll work at this as he can fill it in, so
Mm-hmm.
that's probably gonna be a benefit
Yeah.
as well. So it will get done. Is it inside the fenced-in area, I'm assuming, at the
The launch
wastewater
itself, yeah, it's in a couple pieces, it's on the inside.
plant? Yeah, so I'll have to get in there with him sometime to measure and slide it back together.
Yeah, it's inside the gate.
Okay,
If it's during the week, Woody's there anyway, but.
okay. I'll talk to you later about how it broke away. Let's find that out too. I meant to pin you down, but you've been pretty busy paving. So anyways, that's where we're at with the kayak launch. So
Okay.
I'm sure that'll move forward and we'll
Yeah.
get that assist handle in place for next
Mhm.
year. I reiterate what you said. Thank you for everybody that came out and voted for, you know, not uncontested race again, but folks came and did their duty, so I appreciate that. And as for the streets, Mike, thank you and the crew, thank you and the crew for the hard work you did. I know that prospect took a lot of preparation work, and, it really paid off, cause that extra width is gonna be nice this winter. It'll be nice for plowing.
So we're all water off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, get the water off the road, there you go. As for the water board, our report is complete. It routed for the last 3-4 days. I've got, made a couple minor changes to it today, and we will be meeting on Wednesday to finalize and sign it. My plan is I'll be delivering a hard copy to both this office and the town office. I'll scan the signature page in and email that to Mary and to Sarah so they can save it in their files electronically as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend that, well, Kim and I don't need a copy, but make sure Nikki and Amy get a copy as well. Whether you want it electronically or hard copy, it's 46 pages.
Yeah.
So,
Save a tree.
it'll kill a couple of trees if we print too many.
Mm.
But anyway, so that ends this stage, but now we're starting next year's assessment. So, yeah, I called Juanita today, we need to get data in for the end of the first quarter, so we can start compiling it. And at each quarter, try to stay ahead of the game, so we're not at the last minute trying to put a report together next year. And I'd like to point out the report will be even neater next year, because we'll have 2 years worth of data to compare and see if we see any trends with expenses, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and last but not least, the food drive that we
Oh, yeah.
conducted this past weekend was extremely successful. I am so humbled by the generosity of this community in times of need. It's, you know, we went into this expecting it to be a smaller than usual drive, and we set records again.
Wow.
We collected over, I don't have a final tally yet, but it's over $3,700 in cash, almost 2,100 pounds of food. I'm telling you, this community just comes out, people that
Has always been
I
very
know are
generous.
living on fixed income still donate some. Everybody, it's like 95% of the people that walk by us donate something, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is,
It's pretty amazing.
yeah.
You might also wanna add about the lack of the Canadians.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's, That was the other thing I thought might impact us, is the lack of our Canadian friends who are always over here shopping and contributing.
Mhm.
And yet we still achieved the record without, without
That's awesome.
most of them. There's some Canadians still here that, live here full-time and so on, but just amazing. That's all I can say. I was amazed and very humbled again.
That's awesome.
It's a very generous community.
It is,
Mhm.
it is,
Mhm.
it is. I have, some folks that, like I said, I know they're on fixed incomes, and every year they come and they donate, and amazes me.
Mhm.
They try to help each other out, and that's what this community's
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So, thank you to all. Now, there'll be my usual letter together going out, and I have all the specifics.
And thanks to all of you for organizing that, it's so important.
You're welcome. One of our passions again.
Mhm.
That was our 10th year, by the way.
Wow,
Alright.
wow.
Oh, time goes.
Yeah, boy, that time goes fast.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you all. Report from the clerk treasurer.
Everyone has their expense and revenue reports for September. We did a water and sewer billing. Water was $61,079.74, and sewer was $66,388.72.
Make a motion to accept the abstract?
No, wait, first, before we
Wait,
do
oh.
the abstract, we have a correction to the September warrant,
Oh,
first
yeah,
of all.
I'm sorry, I forgot that.
We had an invoice for Midstate, that was $136.18, that was paid twice, that we had to take out. So last month's warrant was $22,348.70.
Make a motion to correct that, to, remove the one charge of $136.18 on Midstate for a total of $22,348.
Is there a second on that? Any discussion? All in favor? Whoops, roll call, right, money?
It's already done.
Expend it.
Yeah, I know, but still, just for the record, if it's a motion, right? I mean,
No, because we're not expending anything.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
not
then that's
expending-
dealing
yeah,
with
we're
money.
not expending
Okay,
anything,
correct.
just a correction.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
opposed, motion
Okay,
carries.
now we have the warrant.
Okay,
And we have additional invoices of $104,171.06 for a total warrant, for a total warrant of $118,772.75.
and of course, over 92,000 was the big,
Almost 93,
yeah, true.
because it's super paid this time.
It's super paved, so really, yeah. It's worth every bit of binder and final coat.
So I make a motion to accept the warrant with the additional invoices totaling $118,772.75.
Second,
Second.
all right, discussion, questions?
So I had just one question on the clean waters, the charge pack, you just explained to me that?
What happened is Woody gets us like once a year, and the invoice went to his email. And until we got it and said, this hasn't been paid, Woody looked in his emails and said, yep, I have it.
Okay.
So,
Which voucher number is that? Oh, I see it, 126.
yeah, it should have been paid in May.
Okay,
Anyway, that's what happened, just kind of fell through the cracks.
So that really should have been last year's budget, you mean?
all right,
Correct.
so we're having
Yeah.
an issue there, a very tight budget.
So, we just had
Yep.
to,
Any other questions?
In regards to both of these both the water and the wastewater, yeah, I had talked to you about it previously, Janet. Should we move some of these unreserved fund balances into reserved accounts that we, especially with the water, we know we're gonna be using?
Well, if we know specifically what we want to move it into and label it, then I would say yes. I know we talked about, the water towers. I wonder if it would be more appropriate to address that after you make your report.
Okay.
Cause I think it will be clearer where we need to be putting money aside in anticipation of what we're gonna have to pay. And I know you've got all the numbers, or you will have all the numbers, so
Yeah,
That-
cause
would be my recommendation.
it was noted during this process that, you know, that it's a very healthy balance, that if we, as I pointed out in regards to water, we're gonna have a project coming up where we're gonna use a large portion of it,
That's right.
and it was pointed out that it should be reserved then for that, instead of
Did discuss that.
leaving it here like this.
We've got generators coming here in the next few weeks too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But that
yeah, but
money's
that's already,
put
but
aside.
we had, most of that money was already set aside for the generator. Yeah, I agree, I mean, I think putting things in reserve and then, you know, labeling them is appropriate.
yeah.
But again, with that project, that's another thing is, you know, how much and it's so hard to know right now.
That should be included.
Yeah, cause once you do that, it's
It's
tagged.
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you have to be careful how you label it.
Absolutely.
You do, but they're recommending that you label it, you don't just put it
Right.
in some other,
Yeah.
some vague
Yeah.
category and
Right.
hope you
Yeah.
can kind of.
But you're right, I hear
We
what you're
just, you know,
saying.
we did the
Yeah.
NICOM training a couple weeks ago, and one of the things they were talking about are these special reserves and how important they are, and,
Once you put it in, you can't take them out, you can
Mhm.
only switch to a different reserve. You
Yeah.
can't, it can never go back to like cash where you can use it for anything.
So it can't go back into your fund balance.
Nope.
No.
correct.
Yeah.
No, I realize that, I
Yeah.
realize that, but I also do agree with the board members that pointed that out as well. That it is a very, you know, large balance, making it look, I don't wanna say this incorrectly, but it makes it look like we have,
Yeah, we're
Funky
flush with
money.
cash.
that's the way to put it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and that, no pun intended, that's a really bad pun. But we are anticipating spending a lot of money
I
on
know.
this
I
project,
know.
and
Anticipating
yet,
on flushing that flush down the flush.
Right,
so I'm not trying to beat around the bush here, I just think maybe if you do your report, then we're gonna see about the towers, and then maybe we'll know a little bit more about what we wanna put aside for this project.
And because we've been doing the budget so correctly and putting aside and having that extra fund balance, knowing this stuff is coming forward, this is how it's supposed to be done, not the wait and when I started out, boy, you know, your discussions, I remember when Paul and I moved here, and we watched a village meeting, they were talking about a nut and bolt for a tiny amount and fighting over how it's gonna get paid, we just thought it was so funny. You know, and then, you know, we did go through an era of, you know, we were red, and we've done a very diligent job of doing the budget appropriately. And yes, this is our next stage. That's why we have it, we know what's coming,
I agree,
so.
I explained it that way as well, but the reserve funds are important.
They are important, and I think we will put some money into some specific reserve funds. I just don't know if we're ready to tonight, but I would say,
No, I agree, I was just bringing it
yeah,
up.
yeah, no, it's an important topic.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe when you do your report, if you have suggestions too, of to what and for what,
Well,
ahead of
as far
time, so
as-
that we can review that.
There's gonna be one suggestion of, the O&M on one of the tanks. And I've got, numbers on what that's gonna need to be, but as far as, you know, what we're gonna be putting in the ground here to repair these water mains, that needs to be labeled properly if we throw a figure over into a reserve fund towards it, which I think we can. We just need to label it properly. You know, I don't know how,
Old pipes.
You know,
Repairs, debt. We know we'll have debt.
if it falls on, if it falls under repairs, that's great. And if you wanna do it under another reserve for debt, but don't short us for the, we don't wanna short ourselves for that project either.
Oh, that's
So,
exactly my
I'd be
fear,
afraid to do that.
yeah.
And if repairs is general enough where it can be used for,
For the, yeah,
for replacement.
I can read into the descriptions more,
Yeah, so if you
what
could,
falls under that repair.
so if you could give us some of that info for next meeting, it'd be helpful.
Infrastructure, water infrastructure, that
Yeah.
covers it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, I mean, infrastructure repairs, that's, anyway,
That would cover
Okay.
a lot.
That'll cover a lot.
I will,
right?
I guess we could probably try to brainstorm
power.
something to send out before next meeting, Tom?
Right?
Sure, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Maybe we can do something,
Yeah,
Mike,
That'd be great.
we'll involve you in that as well. Okay,
and, you know, I know you're speaking about water because of this water report, but we also have to look at the sewer account,
Mm-hmm.
and we have
Mhm.
needs there, and we should be doing the same thing down there.
I agree, that's what I had said, both these accounts
Yeah,
are,
both of them, yeah.
have very healthy
And,
fund
you know,
balances sitting there that are unreserved.
but we're also waiting on these gigantic projects and
Yeah.
hoping that we get some funding, and so we're sort of in this uncertain situation.
Right, cause if that funding comes through and we put all that,
Yeah. And there are a couple of other smaller sources of funding that I've added our name to their list too, and if those come through, that's gonna help us out. So we don't
That'd be
want too
great.
much then, you
right.
know, labeled
Mm-hmm.
for those projects.
Agreed.
Can always move it later if they don't come through. Too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh,
So, I
yes,
mean, we do
exactly
the
right.
initial,
Yeah, I
right,
don't wanna,
without
yeah, I don't
putting
wanna
us
rush,
in a pinch.
that's why I don't wanna
We're
rush
not,
on
we're
it.
not in harm letting it sit like
No.
this. It's
Well, right
just-
this second, yeah,
It's
right.
just that
we should do,
on
I know
paper
We,
it
we,
looks better.
we have to,
I know what
yes.
you're saying,
Yep, absolutely.
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, so,
vote on the warrant.
on the warrant, we have a motion, we have a second,
Mhm.
roll call.
Trustee Garrett,
Aye.
trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. Okay, report from the superintendent.
Well, it's been busy on the streets, as you know, paving is completed. Right now, we're working on a bunch of patchwork. We did last week, we did today, we're gonna again tomorrow. I know we've had quite a few inquiries, people on the streets. I've got probably at least a dozen streetlight outages in right now. I got emails back saying they received them, but I don't know if they're still not fixed, so. But I do have if somebody sees a street light that's out, if it's got a ribbon around the pole, I've already sent it in. If it doesn't have a ribbon, notify us. I guess if anybody, you know, hears us or watching us, it's either it got ripped off or it's a new outage. But I know we're supposed to be moving ahead with the change over LEDs.
Yeah,
Now, that's not nice they doing that though, is it?
they subcontract that out. I
So
mean,
that
it's
could be
through-
why, that could be why they're
That
not
might-
replacing the ones that are out right
It
now.
might be,
I've got at least a dozen.
she
Is
said.
it a yellow ribbon?
Yellow is usually cycling,
Tie a yellow
that means it's
ribbon
cycling on and off yellow, red is out,
around-
and green are usually staying on during the day.
Oh, sweetheart.
So I do color code. I do color code for nicely to make it easier for them.
Nice.
We've had one water break, intersection of Route 9 and Willow, that's been repaired. Actually, there's been 3 in like an 8-foot stretch there. Water readings, we've already discussed. Well pump, we did rewire, I know we talked about that, I think it was the night of our last meeting, and that's all taken care of, the well pump's up and running and everything is good there now. We did some repair work, change a hydraulic tank on the 1-ton truck, serviced it, serviced a backhoe. Friday, we had a power outage, there was, the 3 primaries fell down on East Street. We had a power outage and our wastewater plant generator never started.
Oh.
So we couldn't get it going, so I had somebody come today to look at it. And today it started.
Oh,
But I'm gonna have to get generator people here. I think there's a problem with the switch. There's a communication, so it doesn't realize the power's out and it won't start. during power failure, so that has to be, hopefully I'll hear back to them tomorrow. We're gonna have to get a Kingsley here probably, and
Mhm.
that's gotta be taken care of. I still, what else have I got here? We still got quite a bit of stuff on the streets. I know we've all got MSHA training, coming up. That's mine safety, that we need that for anytime you go into the quarries. I know, two of us have lab class, Wednesday, which we need for our water license renewals. Just like I say, we're still working on patching. We've gotta, at some point, get stone on the side of the shoulders on Prospect. Some of them are pretty deep. We're gonna try to get those filled in. I've got a curb stop for water service that we gotta turn on. Somebody had purchased the property and hasn't been on in years and years, and the curb stop is broken to ground, so I gotta get that done. If the rain holds off, we've been dragged out here, but there's a water line on Cedar Street, that we need to cut the road the rest of the way across to try to get in. I'm hoping the weather holds off, and then we can get that done. I don't know if it's gonna be next week or the following week, but we're gonna see what we can do to try to get that in so we can rebuild the road and asphalt it before the plant's closed. We're waiting for our delivery of the generator for the water plant. That should be in, I would say, very soon. With that, we've gotta put up a retaining wall, pour a slab, move the conduit. We've got quite a bit of work to get that so they can install new wire and get that up and running. We've still got sidewalks to pour for winter, where we've had water issues. We've got a few trees to trim or remove. And I still have all our winter equipment we still have to get ready. I mean, we've been talking about this possibility for brush pickup, but we still have to work out the details. I don't know when it's gonna happen yet, but we'll see as it gets closer. Also, flushing is gonna take place. That's gonna take up to probably 3 weeks. That's looking right now, it's gonna be probably the end of October, beginning of November, by the time I get some of this other stuff done. And, the new water main up by Beeline, I went up and helped the contractor that's up there. It's been pressure tested, chlorinated, and, it can be put in service, so.
Good.
I got the letter today from the health department. Other than that, the new plow truck is in, it's at the dealership, so I'm just waiting for a date for the equipment installation. I know it's gonna be a while, but, the truck is here, so. That's all I've got.
Mike, could you reiterate on the leaf pickup, cause I'm assuming we're not gonna want any twigs or sticks or
I'm not sure even
anything in there.
if we're gonna have time to do a brush and leaf pickup. The
No,
leaf's
no.
not for us.
No, that's what I mean, with the leaves, I just wanted to reiterate to people, I'm sure it has to
We're
be
not picking them up, I think
Leaves-
somebody else is.
leaves only though, is what I'm
Leaves
saying.
only,
Yeah, that's
bagged
not-
leaves only.
That's nothing to do with us.
I know that,
Yeah,
So-
just bringing it up because,
leaves
Clear,
only.
does it have to be?
No, not necessarily, but I mean, let's hope they're, yeah,
No,
it
no,
can't be
no.
garbage, it can't be sticks, it
no
can't be
flower,
twigs.
no flower plants,
Can't-
please put your flower plants in the garbage.
Yeah, don't put in your old pumpkins, don't, yeah, just leaves.
Exactly, just leaves.
Yes, and this is really a citizen who's willing to do this and use the leaves, so this is really helpful to us.
As far as the rest of the pickup, I don't even know, we don't know what's gonna happen yet,
No, we don't know.
time wise, or if we're gonna have any place to put it, or if we're gonna figure that out, I guess.
You know, we're gonna see a lot of
We'll figure
dumpage
it
in
out.
people's yards otherwise.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's good.
Now it's nowhere to
Well,
put
we'll,
it.
Same thing I do at home, I mean, nobody fixed mine up. You live in in a village that's, it's been good for a long time, I mean, as far as cleaning out, but it becomes a point when, we've got no land, where we put it, that's the problem, really, you know?
yeah, you know, I mean, I read different policies around the country, and most of them have a paid service, and you pay to get, it's part of your garbage. You pay to pick up sticks if you want those picked up, and that's part of the payments you make. I mean, we've just been fortunate that we were able to do it for so long, but now people are used to it.
And we didn't just do it 2 days, we did it every time somebody called,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
every
they-
time you drove by and saw something,
we picked
Picked
it
it
up.
they're
up.
just nice
So-
about it.
It kind of got into all the time.
Yeah, and
So
now it's
we're gonna have to
difficult.
figure it out, I mean, I would like to still do it if we can find a place and, however we're gonna do it, if we can get a chipper, but we're gonna have to have designated days, and when we're gonna have to go around and chip into a truck when we go by, I mean, that's it, but I know it, everything gets put out, you name it, it gets put out there, whether it's,
Mhm.
not everybody, don't get me wrong, but whatever's cleaned up on the grass on the lawn, they figure that goes to, that's how, it doesn't matter if it's dog scrapings or
Oh, yeah.
whatever it may be, so. But we'll have to look at that, and you'll have something, I'm sure, posted or,
Mhm.
at some
Yeah,
point
whatever
here,
we can figure out, we'll get the word out,
so,
all right.
that's all I have.
Okay.
Any other questions for Mike? All right, correspondence?
Correspondence from Champlain Fire District regarding snow plowing. Correspondence from Jeremy and Jamie Elsid regarding wastewater credit. Correspondence from Fallon Barrett requesting wastewater credit. Correspondence from Code Officer Tatro to Timothy LeCount.
All right, so let's go to new business and deal with these two wastewater credit requests. Mary put the numbers together for us.
Thanks, Mary.
The first one is for the LSADs. You can read that they had a garden hose that ruptured, did not go into the sewer. Oh, there's the picture, just so you can see,
Oh, wow.
verifies
Hot
that.
days, they expand.
So it fits into our formula here. Can I have a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion for, do a sewer credit of $144, which represents 30,000 gallons for Mr. and Mrs. Elson.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other questions on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Second one is for Fallon Barrett.
And again, I make a motion, based off this data that, for a sewer credit to Fallon Barrett of $33.60.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. The fencing bill around the building downtown. We have paid this now for 4 years. We have paid a total of $5,152. We have a bill here for $1,277. Personally, this is just my feeling, is that we need to discuss the necessity of this. We have a number of buildings downtown that are abandoned and could possibly be accessible. This one is totally boarded up now, the windows are all boarded up, no one's going to break the glass, I know we were worried about glass.
That is true, and it wasn't at the time of the
It
initial
wasn't, but it
thing.
has been for a while, but last year we had a little issue with the bill. So anyway, I'm just bringing it up because it seems to me to be quite a bit of money and I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah, I think we talked about it earlier, I don't think that we need to keep it there for the cost, because of the cost. It's costing the taxpayers too much money.
There was nothing in return.
Exactly.
Right,
Right.
does everyone agree?
Yeah, do you need a motion to?
I don't think so,
I
this
don't
is
think
just
so
a call to Taylor and saying that we're going to discontinue renting this fence.
Pick it up.
And they'll come pick
I
it up.
No.
think we'll have to deliver, I had to go get it,
Will we get it?
we loaded it, the 1 ton was rounded,
Okay,
I think.
We have to take it down and
We have
they'll come pick it up.
Oh, they will?
That's what I recall from.
Oh, 'cause I had to go get it, okay.
I believe we have to take it down and contact them and they.
Okay.
I can verify that.
Either way.
I'm pretty sure that's how.
Either way, if not, we'll pick up, deliver if we have to, and
Okay.
we'll pick up stuff that we need, we'll order it before we go back.
Thank you. All right, so are we all in agreement that we do
Yes.
not need to continue renting this? I don't think this is a motion, it's just.
No, it's because of the cost, I mean.
Right, right, well, just that we paid over $5,000
I know,
already.
I know,
They're
and
saying it's
the benefit's been too long.
Boston, and then the spring, you
So
get
let
all
me take it down and
the
use it.
vines growing on it.
Oh, I know,
Oh,
it
yeah.
almost had like a
Yeah.
hedge look
They just
around
send
it.
it.
Yeah.
Which actually made it
Okay.
very difficult to see it and stuff, so.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
What is the date?
Yeah.
I may use it, I may take it down and use it next week
Sure,
for that, when we cut that road out.
oh, yeah. Oh, great
Um,
idea.
10/21 says the due.
Bills due,
Mm-hmm.
October?
Yeah.
Because if you go a day over,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta pay for another year.
Right.
Well, we'll just tell them that we'll have it down by,
Well, it depends, whatever the date we signed up, it's, you only got a year, if you go a day over,
Yeah,
you
but-
gotta pay for a year.
This one is 10/21, yes.
this is due 10/21. Let me check the date on that, cause I don't think we got it till later.
I thought it was January or December.
I thought it was December too.
31st.
But
before,
what happened last year is we didn't get the bill till, they never sent us the bill till late.
Just check on it and see, because if it goes a
Okay.
day over, you pay another year.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
We'll find.
Okay, we'll check on that.
Okay.
Okay, and then the last item under new business is the fire department request, and this is just to continue with the agreement to have the snow removal. When this was written last year, we said this would be reviewed in October, and then we would, if we had any changes to propose, we would do it at that time. They're fine with it as written,
And Mike, you've been fine with it as written,
Yeah.
all right?
and Mike felt it worked out all right?
Yes.
Okay,
Do you need a motion to?
Any issues with the
remove?
changes in their lot, with their
No, it's
construction?
better now, we took all the,
Good.
took most of the posts down.
I make a motion that we continue, with the snow removal, contract with the fire department.
may I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. There's nothing under old business. Anyone have anything else they wanna say?
Motion to
Motion,
adjourn.
how about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.